Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're diving together into Open Ultra League with my top team recommendations. Stay tuned till the end of each team showcase if you want to see what those teams are strong against you or what they're afraid of, so I would do that if I were you because I really want to see how those teams can adapt to the meta. So we're gonna start off with the first one, which has already going on with its battle, and you're already seeing it on your screen: Giratina, Registeel and Swampert. So Swampert is an amazing closer, and here is no exception at all because Swampert is gonna go in there pretty crazy with its spam moveset, Mudshot and Hydro Cannon, while Earthquake is gonna nuke down pretty much anything. You can always use Sludge Wave, but I really like Earthquake, and if you have a Shadow Swampert, well, just use it, you are not gonna regret it. Ultra League cannot handle the damage from that Shadow Earthquake. Up on the lead we got Giratina, the OG, the ultimate beast of that meta. So Giratina is gonna be able to cover a lot of things on the meta, and I really like it this time with Ancient Power. Talonflames are gonna be around, and of course Charizards might have a recent boost on their usage, so having Ancient Power on your moveset might be the better option overall, especially other than Shadow Sneak or Shadow Force. I really like the safe switch of this line, which is gonna be Registeel because it has access to some really nice nuke moves, the Flash Cannon, the Focus Blast, and of course the Zap Cannon. I prefer Zap Cannon and Focus Blast, but feel free to replace one of those with Flash Cannon, to destroy down the enemy's dreams, especially if they have something like a Charmer, which I doubt they do, but if they do, yeah, Flash Cannon is gonna help you much more there. Zap Cannon is gonna be able to debuff the opponent, at least you have a chance to do so, so that's why Registeel is considered one of the safest picks of them all. Core breaker of this line, unfortunately, it's gonna be one and solid, and that's gonna be Scrafty. So Scrafty with Foul Play can definitely threat around that Giratina up on the lead with Power Up Punches if you let that slide, and if you do not have Focus Blast, you can definitely get destroyed down with your Registeel, and of course with all those Power Up Punches vamping up the attack of the Scrafty, well, it might be a little bit of a troublemaker for Swampert, but as you can see, you still have some moves to even deal with that threat, so definitely a Core breaker, but somehow a very soft one. Up in the next one now, and we're having one of my favorite teams for Open Ultra League. No legendaries, somehow of excels, and this time you might want to use Charizard over Talonflame. But if you tend to use the old version, well, here it is. You can use Talonflame up on the lead, which is gonna just Brave Bird anything. You have at the back two of the best Pokemon for the current meta of Open Ultra League, and those are gonna be Trevenant and Walrein. Those two are gonna form one of the strongest scores for the Open Ultra League, and recently Aurorus got vamped up with its new moveset, the Meteor Beam being added on its moveset, and yeah, Aurorus can now destroy down this line. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of that Pokemon. I will try to test it out. I don't know still how it will perform against the meta, but according to PvPoke, well, it is a huge threat for this line, and it kinda makes sense because it resists the moves from Talonflame, while it can still destroy down with that Meteor Beam, and of course for the backline it can still go for the Meteor Beam against that Walrein, or just with those Powder Snows and Weather Balls for that Trevenant. Other than that, I think you're gonna be just fine. So let's focus a little bit on Talonflame. Go with Brave Bird, do not show mercy to anything, and just gonna destroy down the enemy. When you can, just bump up your attack and you're gonna be in a very good spot. Safe switch of this team is gonna be that Walrein, but I still think that you're gonna have the upper hand overall with the entire team here. Walrein is gonna be able to reach to those Icicle Spears pretty fast, even after the nerf to that Icicle Spear, and of course you have Earthquake for coverage against Steel types, especially that Red Steel matchup. As a closer, I decided to put here the Trevenant because it has access to Shadow Ball, and even against its counters, the Flyers, it still has that amazing Shadow Ball which can destroy it down, or even that Seed Bomb which is gonna do some really nice damage for coverage against the meta, and of course has a very good move for that Swampert matchup. Protecting that Talonflame with his backline is gonna be your main priority here. Proceeding into the next one, and we're having one of my top teams ever in Ultra League. So we're having Como up on the lead, followed up by Overquill or Drapion, and of course the closer of the team is gonna be Stunfisk. Stunfisk is an amazing Pokemon. You need full excels for this one, and perhaps best buddy as well. I have it for sure, and it took me a long time to get there, but it is totally worth it. This line might be a little bit too soft. This line might be a little bit underwhelming sometimes, but you are gonna have so much fun using this line. Your opponent will get struggled for sure at some point, so Como, a very solid option, and especially now with the recent awareness of using the debuff, the nerf on that charm, you're gonna have the upper hand against the enemy. Not that many charmers around, so that your Como will have the upper hand most of the times against the enemy. Giratinas, Trevenants, whatever, it goes pretty neutral or super effective most of the things, especially against Swampert, so you can have the upper hand, as you can see, for the current meta of Open Ultra League. At the back we also got Overquill, which can be used either as an Overquill or a Skuntank or an Alolan or another Dark Poison like Drapion, so I like Overquill over the other options only because of its moveset. It can surprise the enemy. Everyone knows you have Aqua Tail, but doesn't everyone know what you have as your second move? It can be Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, excuse me, it can be Ice Beam, it can be South Ball, or even Dark Pulse as I like to run it. A core breaker of this line is gonna be the Alola Ninetales. This Pokemon provides a lot of pressure now, not with Charm but instead with Powder Snow against Como. O has a very solid matchup against Stunfisk, surprisingly, because those Weather Balls and Powder Snows are really adding up in damage, and of course that pure Dazzling Gleam can destroy down the pure Overquill, so you do not want that at all. Final team showcase trainers, and we're having here the Boostagoon up on the lead. So Boostagoon with that Obstruct can definitely vamp up your defense while lowering the opponents, and has access to Night Slash, which can give you the chance to go ahead and vamp up your attack stat. I'm not using Obstruct here, that's a mistake I believe, because Obstruct will help you a lot on a lot of defensive matchups that you need that defense vamped up just a little bit, especially that Registeel, which will allow you to survive that Focus Blast of the Reggie after the first Obstruct, and they are still not gonna be enough to farm you down right after with those Lock-ons, so that's pretty cool for the Boostagoon, and that's why I recommend to you up on the lead on any team that you are using. At the back we got Cresselia, which is gonna be used as a safe switch most of the times when you are encountering a really bad lead with your Boostagoon, something like a Machamp or a Scrafty or whatever. Just switch out to your Cresselia and you're gonna have a very good matchup overall. As a closer of this line is gonna be that amazing Charizard with a new wing attack. Do not regret your time using the Charizard, just go for it and you're gonna be on a very good spot. Blast Burn will burn down anything on the meta. Dragon Claw can be used for coverage and of course super effective damage against Dragonite and Giratina, while you're gonna see that wing attack is also gonna help you with some coverage against the fighters that your Boostagoon is afraid of. So I really like the synergy here, how Obstagoon and Cresselia can protect Charizard from Swampert, how the backline can protect Boostagoon from those fighters and Charmers, which is a really nice threat for the entire meta. And of course the core breaker of this line is gonna be Talonflame, because it is gonna be here as a soft core breaker, as it can still beat down and get beaten down by Boostagoon, while with the backline it can have a very good matchup against Cresselia and can go pretty even against Charizard. It all depends if it can land that Brave Bird or not. So overall definitely core breaker, not a very tough one to overcome it, but you're gonna be on a very good spot overall. So that's all trainers, thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care trainers!